Today we will do just one question, one numerical problem from the chapter friction, and then we start new chapter. This is the question number 17. Question number 17 from page number 209. 209. Page number 209, question number 17. So, some of the students they were unable to do it, so I will be doing it for them. In the arrangement shown in figure, there is a figure given. The coefficient of friction between block, of mass 3m, between block of mass 3m and inclined plane is 1 by root 3. An inclined plane is 1 upon root 3. So, on releasing the mass 2m, on releasing the mass 2m, first part A, what is the acceleration of the system? What is the acceleration of the system? And in which direction will it move? Question says that. And in which direction will it move? Question mark. And part B. What is the force of friction on the block of mass 3m? You have to find the force of friction on the block of mass 3m. And a figure is given. So I have drawn the figure. Figure they have given like this. Figure is given here. This body is in contact with the plane and this body is a hanging one. It is not in contact with anything, so we will not consider friction here. Friction will be considered here between this block and the surface. Angle is 30 degree. Question they are asking, find the acceleration and in which direction motion will take place. That also they are asking. We'll check. First we'll check whether motion takes place or not. Let us check that first. On inclined plane, how do we distribute the mass? The 3m weight will be 3 mg here. We'll break into two components like this. This will be 3 mg cos 30. This will be 3 mg sin 30, and the normal action will be acting upward here n. As usual, we are doing it. Okay. We'll calculate the value. What is the weight of this one acting at 2 mg is acting here, 2 mg. 3 mg sin 30 value we will take, right, equal to sin 30 value is half. So 3 by 2 will become 1.5, so 1.5 mg. That means this side force is 1.5 mg and this force is 2 mg. This force is bigger, no? That means this motion will take place bigger minus the smaller force is equal to motion. This will go down and this will be going up. This is supposed to go like that. Let us write the equation here, right? 2 mg minus, if the motion takes place this way, this is going down and this is going like this. We are assuming because motion takes place in the direction of the bigger force. Or motion will not, there are two possibilities. Or motion is not taking place. Motion will never take place in the direction of the lesser force. There are two possibilities. We have this side force is becoming bigger than this one, so then motion, if there is any motion, so it will take place in this direction, like this, then friction will act with way like this, opposite to the motion. This mass is going this way, so friction is acting in this direction, opposite to the motion of this mass. Minus, I will get 1.5 mg plus friction is equal to the motion in the block. Both the blocks are in motion, that means I write here 3n plus 2m, 3n plus 2m into A. If motion takes place at all, let us simplify. I get 2 mg minus 1.5 mg. What is the formula of friction? Mu into m. Mu into normal reaction. Normal reaction value is this much. Mu into 3 mg cos 30. This becomes 5m into a. G value will keep same. We will not put the value of G. Just keep same. For the time being, this mg. The value of mu is given 1 by root 3. I put 3 mg. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2 is equal to 5 ma. This is 2 mg minus 1.5 mg plus root 3 will go. 3 by 2 will come another 1.5 mg. 5 ma. 2 mg, 1.5 plus 1.5 become 3. So 3 mg is equal to 5 ma. 2 mg minus answer is coming minus mg is equal to 5 ma. Your a value is coming negative, minus g by 5 is coming. Is it possible? So that is not possible. Not possible. Therefore, we let a equal to 0. A cannot be negative. Body cannot move in the direction of the lesser force. That means, is motion taking place? Answer is no. Motion does not take place. Then acceleration value will become 0. Question says in which direction motion takes place? We say there is no motion. Because A cannot be negative. Now question is asking find the force. This is the answer for part A. Now we got the answer for the part A. Now part B, force of, therefore force of friction value we find. Therefore force of friction. Force of friction equal to find the force of friction we will go back to the first equation, first line. We will go back to the first line here. How can we have the value of A equal here in this equation? The value of A will be 0 only when this quantity and this entire quantity are equal. 2 mg, this entire thing value is 2 mg. 2 mg minus 2 mg will give the answer 0. That is only possible when this quantity and this quantity are exactly equal. Then the value of A will become 0. That means this plus this value must be equal to what? 2 mg. Therefore, friction value will be how much? 2 mg minus this. 2 mg minus 1.5 mg. The answer is 0.5 mg. Keep G as it is. That is answer. So that is the trick we apply there in this question. Whenever A becomes 0, how to find the force of friction? We will go back to the first line. First line. We are making A value 0, exactly 0. That is only possible when this quantity and this quantity are equal. So, then when will they be equal? If this is 2 mg, then this entire thing also should be 2 mg. Then it's 1 plus 1.5 mg plus F is equal to 2 mg. Therefore, A value will become 2 mg minus 1.5 mg. The answer comes 0.5. So, this is the solution for this question. Hope that this chapter is over. Now we are starting new chapter, work, power and energy. Work, power and energy. Work, power and energy. This is the new chapter. These chapters, most of the things you have done in class 10, so we'll be hurrying up in this chapter. Mainly we'll do some little difficult type of problems we'll do in this chapter, and the chapter will be also okay. Now, definition of work we know in class 10 you have done, that the work is said to be done when a force causes a body to be displaced in its own direction or in a direction other than perpendicular or normal to it. The SI unit of work is joule, CGS unit is earth, 1 joule is 10 to the power of 7. We are doing only the main important things. When there is an angle between force and displacement, in class 10 we used to do that. Then suppose this is force, this is displacement, this is angle theta. What is the value of work done? The value of work done we should take F into S cos theta we used to take. Fs cos theta. Now you can understand better why we used to take S cos theta. Displacement is vector, F also vector. This displacement break it into two components. One component here, one component here. The component of this will come S cos theta. The value of this component will come S sin theta. As per the definition of work, we have to take the force and the displacement in the direction of force. Force is acting like this, and what is the displacement in the direction? S cos theta. So write S cos theta. So finally, the formula becomes W is equal to Fs cos theta. So as simple as that. Anyway, if it is just opposite the other way, if it is force over here and if it is S over here, we'll break F into two components. It will become F cos theta here and F sin theta. What is the value of work? That work will be force and the displacement in the direction. So displacement, this force is F cos theta, and in this direction the displacement is S. The answer will be coming now F cos theta into S. Ultimately the answer is Fs cos theta only. So that is the reason in class 10 we did not use this method, breaking components method. We did not use. Now we have done it previous chapter. So now we are utilizing that concept and finding the formula of work. And after that, when work done is positive, when theta is range of positive work, you can write range value, range of positive work. Range of positive work will be, theta value should be 0 degree but less than 90 degree. For this range of angle, the work done is said to be positive. It is maximum when theta is 0 degree and minimum when theta is 90 degree. Range of negative work, mind this equation of here. You should not put equal sign here, because when theta is 90 degree, then work done will be 0. Then it won't be positive. So remember it. So without giving equal sign, we write here. Negative work will be happening when angle lies between 90 degree and 180 degree. Like this. Again, don't put equal sign here, because negative work we are looking for. If you put equal sign here, that means the work done becomes 0, which is neither negative nor positive. So this is how you need to write the range. And examples and all, that class 10 you have done quite a lot on this, so we will not discuss too much on that. What is power? Power is work by time. The SI unit of power is watt or joule per second. CJ unit is earth per second. All that Power formula is work by time, and there is another formula, power is equal to force into velocity, F into V. That you have done in class 10. What is energy? Is the capacity of doing a work. There are two types of energy, mainly mechanical energy, potential energy and kinetic energy. Now you learn the expression for kinetic energy. How do we find kinetic energy? Expression for kinetic energy you are done in class 10, but once again you have to do in class 11 also. It is there. Expression for kinetic energy. What is the formula of kinetic energy? Half mv square. How to derive the expression for it? To derive the expression, we will be taking a straight line. The surface we will take. We are having a body here of mass m. We are applying a force F on the body to move it in the same direction. The body moves and comes here. The body is moving over a distance S, like this, in the same direction of force. S on top with the arrow in the same direction. And initial velocity of the body will take 0, u is 0. Final velocity is v. And now we'll find the work done. So kinetic energy will be any kind of energy is measured by its work done capacity. That kinetic energy is equal to work done by force. Work done by force. Force F with inverted comma here. Work done formula we have F into S. F into S. Force value we have MA. So MA into S. This will become MAS. m keep as it is. Now using the formula of motion comes like this: v square is equal to u square plus 2as. V value is v square, final velocity u is 0, 2as. So v square is equal to 2as. V square by 2 is the value of as. We are putting the value of as, v square by 2. Ultimately, the formula becomes half mv square. This is the formula of kinetic energy. Kinetic energy expressions is there in this level derivations. There is another method, calculus method, but we are not following that method because we haven't done calculus at all. You know, in maths also, first you have to do, then you have to do in physics. So we will be using this method only, whichever method we find easier and convenient. Okay, now there is a theorem called work energy theorem. Work energy theorem. Work energy theorem. Work energy theorem states that the amount of work done by a body. Work energy theorem states that the amount of work done by a body. The amount of work done by a body is equal to change in its kinetic energy. Is equal to change in its kinetic energy. Is equal to change in its kinetic energy. This is called work energy theorem. Therefore, we write work done by a body is equal to change in kinetic energy. That means write half mv square minus half mu square. Final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. The change in kinetic energy is equal to the work done. And this theorem is called work energy theorem. And how to prove this? Proof of this also is quite simple. Proof will be doing first at work formula, force into displacement. Force is ma, that ma is m, and now use motion formula, that is v square is equal to u square plus 2as. V square minus u square is equal to 2as. V square minus u square by 2 is the value of as. I put that value here, v square minus u square by 2. Now you can separate it, it will become half mv square minus half mu square. This is quite simple. This is quite a simple derivation. Now, next heading we can give relationship between kinetic energy and linear momentum. Kinetic energy and linear momentum, or just say momentum. Momentum denoted by P, and the formula of P is mv. We will be writing that equation here. Kinetic energy is K is equal to half mv square, and momentum P equal to mv. Mark this as equation 1, mark this as equation 2. We can do multiplying equation 1 by multiplying by m in equation 1. Equation 1, both the sides we multiply by m. This become mk half, this become m square v square. We do cross multiply 2 mk. M square v square will be the value of p square. The square will go, root will come here. Therefore, p value will become root of this 2mk. This is the relationship between momentum and kinetic energy. That is, momentum is directly proportional to square root of kinetic energy. Square root of kinetic energy. When kinetic energy of a body is increased by 4 times, how many times its momentum will increase? Its momentum will increase by root 4 times. Root 4 means 2. two types. So you have to be careful while answering this type of P is proportional to the square root of K. Another question they ask like this: a car and a truck are having same momentum, which will have larger kinetic energy. A car and a truck has same momentum, which will have a larger kinetic energy. Momentum is same. M and K, how are they related to each other? They are inversely proportional to each other. Lesser mass will have more kinetic energy, and more mass will have less kinetic energy. We will say car will have more kinetic energy, since its mass is less than the mass of a truck. We will be following this equation. So this equation in that context becomes important. Okay, now another thing, what is potential energy definition, or potential energy formula we have mgh, that we have done in class 10 also. Mgh, potential energy formula is mgh when there is a height, mgh, and there is a law of conservation of energy which says that energy is neither created nor be destroyed, it can only be changed from one form to the another form. And class 10 you have done that derivation that body is falling down and you are showing the energy at all points are same, constant. Energy at the top, somewhere in between, and at the lowest point, total energy value remains constant. That derivation you have done in class 10. So we are not doing that one now in class 11. Rather, little differently we will do now. We will be give that verification of law of conservation of energy for a body sliding on an inclined plane. So this one is something new. Rather like mathematical verification of law of conservation of energy, which showed mathematically that the total energy remains the same. Instead of having the body falling down directly vertically downward, we are having the body moving down in an inclined plane. So let us show like this. There is an inclined plane. We are having anything out here, maybe a body. Here is falling down like this. Is moving down and coming here, the lowest point. Let us take the angle with the theta here. This height, vertical height is h. Vertical height is h. Highest point I will take A, somewhere in between I will take this point I will take as B, and out here the point taken as C. This is the point B and this is the point C. Okay, you have to show that the total energy at the point A, at the point B and the point C are all equal. You have to show that. So how to show? We will be showing this that total energy at A, E. Total energy is the combination of kinetic and potential. So that kinetic energy plus potential energy. Kinetic energy plus potential energy. Kinetic energy is 0 because at this point is the starting point, the initial velocity is 0. Potential energy form is mg and vertical height. What is the vertical height for the point A? What is the vertical height? H. Let H. Therefore, your answer will be mgh. This is equation 1. This is the energy at the point A. Let EA. E for the point A. Now I write total energy at B. Total energy at B. EB. Here I write again kinetic energy plus potential energy. Kinetic energy value is half mv square. I write half mv square. Potential energy is mg into the vertical height. Let us take the vertical height of this point is x. And let x. Writing half in v square formula I will write u square plus 2as. V square is equal to u value 0, write 0 square this way. Or the velocity is 0. You are writing 2a. The value of a is a will become g now like this we are taking g into the distance traveled. What is the distance traveled vertically, or what is the distance traveled vertically? That will be h minus x. There I write h minus x plus mgx. You are taking vertical motion only. Vertical motion only get. What is the vertical height like this? Vertical height is having h minus x. Let us continue with this. M 0 will go here. You can cancel 2 and 2. You can cancel. We get here m g h minus mgx plus mgx. These two cancel, the answer remains mgh. That's the answer. Now we are doing total energy at C. Total energy at C, that will be energy C is equal to again kinetic plus potential. Kinetic energy is again half mv square. Calculator half mv square. Potential energy is 0. Here at half mv square formula, again I write 0 square plus 2. Vertical acceleration is g. And what is the vertical height for the point C? That is h. Potential energy is 0 because for the point C there is no vertical height. So 2 and 2 cancel, the answer again comes mgh. So it's 2. That means energy remains constant at all the points. Now one thing to be observed, suppose energy at the point A is 100 joule and energy at the point B becomes 80 joule. It's not becoming equal. What does it mean? Does it mean that the energy is not conserved? Energy has to be conserved. That means there is some loss of energy due to friction. How much is the difference of the energy? 100 here and here is 80. Difference is how much joule? 20 joules. That much joule is the energy lost due to friction. Or if question asks you what is the work done by friction? Work done by friction is equal to 100 minus 80. Difference of the energy at the 2 points, that will give you the value of energy lost. Or energy loss usually takes place due to friction, or it is the work done by the friction. If question asks you find the work done by friction, we will be finding the energy at one point, total energy, and total energy at the another point we will find the difference between the two. The difference between the two will give the work done by friction or the energy lost due to friction. So that is the idea we will apply. If in case they are not, they have to be equal. If they are not equal, then we make them equal by the energy loss due to friction. If you add the energy loss due to friction here, like 80 plus 20 when you add become 100, this is also 100. Law of conservation of energy is followed. So today theory portion of this chapter is this much only, a short one. Next day we will be doing some little difficult kind of problem and required type of problem which is needed for class 11. So thank you for that.